Hey peeps, it's Coach Donna. I was actually coming to talk to you today a little bit about self-care. Yes, we are still in the self-care series. I have other stuff that I want to talk about this year, but I still really want to get us ready for the abundant rain of 2014. So I am drilling in on self-care still. So I was talking to my mom yesterday, and I have to first say that I have the best mother in the whole wide world, bar none. Now, this is not a competition. I'm just telling you where I am with my mama, okay? So basically, she is my main cheerleader all the time. She always has been all my life. And I actually was talking with her yesterday, and we were talking about this new thing that I'm going into in terms of being a worship leader. And yes, at my church, I've now become worship leader. Actually at another church where I was going, so I'm now at a different church and I'm worship leader at that church. So at any rate, she was like researching stuff and like, okay, you need to read this. Okay, you need to look at this. Okay, and I'm like, okay. I'm just still trying to take in the fact that I'm worship leader, right? So it's that plus, I'm coaching now and I am speaking now, and everything that I've been working for the past 2 years is actually starting to come together. So my real estate and all of this other stuff is starting to just pop off at the same time. And my mother, God bless her, is like the hugest supporter ever. And I can call her with any question, with any situation. And even though she's not been everywhere and done everything, she's a very wise woman. And I was thinking about that. And I was thinking about the fact that I have her, but I have my Aunt Gail, and I have my godmother, and I have my godfather, and I have my Uncle Danny, and I have my Auntie Josie, and I have my sister, and I have, my friends, my male voices, as I call them, Andre, Adrian, Jared, Earl. I call them, and, I say, this is what he said. And they say, and I say, that doesn't mean this, and they say, yeah, no, I mean that. So, I get actual understanding from them. And then I have my friends, Eunice and, all the people that actually kind of talk to me about me when I have inside stuff that I need to be able to go to. They are my support system. And what I've found about a good support system, going out into the coaching world and actually now meeting my colleagues, my colleagues and all of the members of my tribe that I've started to become acquainted with, what I've found going out into the world and as my support system grows, is that they tell you a lot of great stuff about you. But they also call you on the carpet on your crap. So a good support system helps you with your self-care. They literally build you up in the most beautiful ways that you can possibly be built up by doing two things. The first thing is they give you accolades and all the good stuff that you do. They give you they see your possibility. And so they give you the cheers and the accolades to get you to your possibility and get that out there for you. But the second thing is, they don't let you put Swarovski crystals on your crap and make it look good so you can keep it. They actually call you on the carpet so you can get rid of that stuff so that you can walk into your greatness without the baggage. Now, here's what I wanted to say about that. As far as people in your world that you surround yourself with, I guess I want to ask you, are there people in your world that have the permission to tell you no? Are there people in your world that have the permission to tell you yes? Are there people in your world that have the permission to actually build you up in places where you aren't built up, and have the ability or the permission to say, no, this is not right and you need to fix it? Because our lives, I'm going to use a financial term, you've heard the system of checks and balances. Our lives are systems of checks and balances. And without the checks and balances, things happen to us that absolutely can go awry, that we never planned to happen. Great example of that, Michael Jackson. I'm sure that when he was hiring all of the people around him that said yes, and when he was listening to everybody say, you don't need to be around those people who tell you no, you can do whatever you want to. This is your life. This is your body. This is your this. This is your that. I'm sure when he was fortifying his world with those people and shutting out the people who actually could have been the checks and balances, like his family, when he was distancing himself from all the people who actually cared about Michael instead of Michael's money, he actually structured himself so that he didn't have to have a system of checks and balances. So there was no one there to say, these drugs are going to kill you one day. There was no one there to say and reiterate, no, Michael, this is not good for you. I'm not going to allow you. Let me call the people. Because after a certain point, when you're in drugs for so long, a person who loves you can actually pick up the phone and say, this person is about to kill themselves. Go get them. And without checks and balances around him and a support system that actually cared about more than just his money, and they weren't afraid, and without a system that was afraid, and with a system that was afraid to actually call him on the carpet on his crap and say, Michael, you need help. You need to get this. You need to get that. You need to get the other. These things are not nice and healthy for you. You are living an unhealthy lifestyle. Without all of those people around him to say that to him, yeah, he reached very high heights, but I promise you, he wouldn't be dead if he had those people in his world. In my opinion, he wouldn't be dead. Because a system of checks and balances, there are many people that came up in the same era that he did, that are still alive, that are still thriving, that still have a wonderful life and a career outside of music and inside of music because they had correct checks and balances. Michael didn't have that. Obviously, he didn't have it. And everybody's world is not as detrimental as Michael Jackson's world is. But bringing it back to reality, our own reality, your self-care depends on you having a good support system around you. People that can actually shut out the noise and say, no, go lay down, stop working, you're tired. I know you need to finish this, but you're tired. Go lay down. No, don't try and do this. I said no. Yes, you did a great job. Or, wow, let's look at it this way. And maybe if we look at it this way, we can unlock something else. Without those people in your world to help you structure it, because no man is an island and you can't do it by yourself. Without those people, you stay stuck. You stay stagnant. You actually end up not growing and progressing. And you actually sometimes digress. Jim Rohn says, clean it all up. He says, go back and do everything that you're supposed to do and make a foundation of that. And then move forward. So that you can actually have the best layer to run on. And then I think about all of my wonderful friends and coaches who actually, and by the way, even though I am a coach, I do have people who coach me. So, you have to, because Allison Bird, beautiful, wonderful, powerful woman, says it like this: my excuses had Swarovski crystals on them, and I made them so pretty that they got to stay in my life until I met my coach, who called me on the carpet and made me take all the crystals off and look at the crap for what it was. It was just dressed up crap. And without coaches, even in our lives as coaches, our crap can be very beautiful because we can dress it all up. Logic, put logic around it, put some excuses on top of it, pad it up with a couple of, reasons why, make it really solid with some, this is why I do what I do because I'm just me. Put it all together and it can stay. But the truth of the matter is that very thing that you crystallize and make it beautiful so they can stay is a very pillar that ties you down and keeps you away from reaching your goals in your future. But the people in your life that actually help you with your self-care on every level, they do stuff like say, oh man, you're not doing this spending thing right. You need to go take a class. Come here, let me help you learn how to do a budget. They do stuff like, oh my God, what are you eating? Why are you eating like that? That's not healthy for you. How far are you actually trying to run with this body? They actually say stuff like, man, that was a great idea. Let's tweak it and make it bigger. Or, wow, how can I help you get that idea from where it is to where you want it to be? They give you all the accolades you need, but they actually are a twofold system to help you get everything that you desire in this world. And we, because we live life in 4G, we cannot afford to not have the correct systems around us. We need people who will look at our stuff and say, this is great. Who will help us get to the next level, because no man is an island. Who will actually call us on the carpet with our crap and say, well, that stinks. Do that over. No, lose that. That's not you. Hey, how about there's no authenticity in that. How about fix that? Be authentic. Show your scars. Do your stuff the right way. And without those people, we don't get to become who we were intended to be. So don't shut out the naysayers with your money, because naysayers actually sometimes get paid to tell you no. So when you have employees, give them a forum to speak. Not to be disrespectful, but to absolutely speak. And wisely consider what they say. Because what they say affects their area in your company and your company as a whole. And you as a CEO need to actually look at all the things that they say in order to be able to make sure that your company is strong and solid. That gives you your eyes, but it also gives your employees an understanding that they are valuable. So, bringing it all back to self-care. Self-care is you taking care of yourself on every level, including how you surround yourself with people. If you don't have people in your world that will tell you no, you need to figure out why that is. Do you throw temper tantrums? Because we can tantrum out. I told you about my tantrums before. But this also makes me think of the video that I did that was like lose your ego and find your purpose. The only way that you can get what you have to get is to let all of the stuff that is not what you need to have go. So that means that you have to allow other people to look at your stuff sometimes and say, that's not right. Or fix that, this could be better if you do this. And don't be so egotistical that you don't hear and that you don't grow. Now that I'm done with all of that, I will say thank you so much for being a part of this journey with me. Make sure that you like and subscribe, and also share the videos that help you with other people. And remember, life in 4G is living in God, living a life of giving, living a life of gratitude, and living unapologetically in your greatness. Be great. And let the people around you help you get there. Surround yourself with the right support systems for your correct self-care. Bye, peeps.